Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Order Terra Firma Craft. Today I actually want to start by going out on a little exploration trip again, see something other than a base for a change. And of course there's a couple of goals I want to actually achieve with this. So first of all, Kaolinite would be huge if we could actually find it now. Because then we could actually advance to the Steel Age. We can make the Blast Furnace, we can make the Coal Forge. So we'd also advance in terms of crate mod stuff. Pretty much unlock everything except stuff that requires a bucket, I think. So that would be nice. Then, of course, there's also other ores I still want to find. Tin and nickel, because we're gonna need that anyway if you want to make the more advanced black and then later red and blue steel. It's the highest tier. And just in general, I want to find other rock types in case we find something interesting so we can place the quarry there. I don't want to bring the quarry, I'm just going to go out exploring a little bit. Then also going to chop down a couple trees because I'm completely out of wood right now. I've been looking into tree farms. They're definitely easy to set up. So we could already do that. Basically, instead of planting bamboo there, we could just have saplings. And what the saw actually does when it's getting moved is it chops down the whole tree and you get the saplings. So you don't need like a deployer that is equipped with a scythe to mine the leaves somehow. No, just chopping down the tree also grants you the saplings. So this would definitely be an easy tree farm, but I'd actually like to make a different one that uses tree fertilizer. That's something that I can craft with bone meal, rotten flesh, and leaves. And what it actually does, I haven't made one yet, is it instant grows a tree. That's obviously huge. So with those saplings in Terra Firma Craft, depending on the tree type, it still takes like 6 to 10 days or something like that for a tree to grow. So that's, anything between 2 and 4 hours basically. It's still rather slow, but if you had tree fertilizer, then we could make a much more compact farm that is also much quicker. So bone meal, by the way, doesn't work on saplings, so we would need to get that tree fertilizer. So just two things that are kind of hard to get: rotten flesh, actually. So we would need a mob farm, basically, and also the bone meal. So just a normal mob farm, we can get skeletons and zombies would be perfect. Don't think there's a better way really to get it. So there's compost we could make. It's an option, but we would need a lot of compost. It would also be just in a huge farm, basically, for kelp. And what is that stuff called again? That grows really tall. Yeah. So I don't think that's really viable. If you make a mob farm, then we can get this stuff anyway. So that would be, I guess, the way to go. But now I would need to build a mob farm first, and then we make the tree farm and so on. Kind of want to finish building, the house soon. I've been saying this for quite some time, but now that we have the logs and the stones, I can actually do it now. Okay, so we're gonna chop some trees, explore for different rock types and ores, and I think I'm also gonna kill some of the animals I come across a bit further out, so I can use my laser scraper again. Still gotta prepare a little bit for the trip. I'm actually in a position right now that I got some wrought iron to spare, so I'm gonna take 24 of the ingots and make some full wrought iron armor. Actually looks really cool in TFC compared to the vanilla one. Then, I think we got 10 buckets of milk again. Gonna make some sweet rolls as well, so we get some food that doesn't spoil for the trip. Also got great news, we got some baby cows. Yay, got 2 baby cows. Last time we got 3 bulls. But it's gonna take 1 year, 11 months, and 1 day for them to grow up. There's actually something we could actually do to speed this up. We could craft a vanilla bed finally. Never really thought about it, but we can make a vanilla bed. It's not that hard. Just need to make a bit of wool cloth, lumber, and then we can skip the night. That would also mean that the animals would grow up a bit quicker. Of course, if food spoils faster, but since we can make sweet rolls now, there's hardly any downside to this. There we go, vanilla bed. Alright. Unfortunately, Panda is on right now. Yes, actually can't skip the night. He would also need to sleep as well. There's probably, I think in 1.18.2 there's already a game rule we can use. Isn't there some sleeping threshold? Maybe we should do that. Okay, so I set the sleeping threshold to 30, so we can skip the nights now. Should have done it way earlier, actually. The only downside of actually using the bed is, of course, we will set our spawn point each time. Sometimes I definitely don't want that. I want my spawn point to be at the base and nowhere else. Kinda dumb that it's still tied together in vanilla as well. Would be nice if you had some sort of a sleeping bed or whatever that allows you to skip the night, but doesn't set your spawn point. But at this point I don't think it's gonna ever happen. And that's the last milk. Here you go. So we have almost 3 stacks of sweet rolls again. So making armor is actually quite a lot of work. There's a lot that goes into this, so you need to make the unfinished pieces first, all on the anvil. This also can't be automated later, but it's okay. I mean, how often are you gonna make armor? Then, so we got the double sheet, and then I gotta weld this together with the chest plate. Okay, but both items actually need to be heated up. Can I actually put it into... Oh, I can also use a charcoal forge on top to keep stuff hot. So I actually got 14 slots available now. Okay, let's put it all in there. Gonna actually do one extra, because I saw there's an advancement. Here. Knight Shining Armor. Create a full set of wrought iron armor, a sword, and a shield. So I'm already heating up some iron ingots. Gonna turn this into a shield real quick. Maybe you can do that in one step. Just gonna make more sheets here. Oh, slightly off. So it needs a double sheet. There we go, and there's the shield recipe. So we gotta do bend, upset. That's 14 and 13. So we gotta do draw, hard hit, normal hit, then bend. There we go. Wrought iron shield. Guess it's for the offhand. Ah, pretty neat. Okay, then the other stuff should be hot enough. This I can just weld, as far as I know. Not hot enough, but... Guess it wasn't. Takes some time to heat it up, I feel like. Oh, because it's like 400 millibuckets, so it's like 4 ingots in one. It takes some time to actually heat it up. Okay, yep. Need to wait a little bit. So now it should be hot enough, and we can finally weld it together. So that's the chest plate. Then helmet next. They don't need a double sheet, a normal sheet is enough. Kind of makes sense, of course, the chest plate is the heaviest item. Reefs. Boots. Go, full set. And I'm heating up a bit more iron. The sword is made out of a double sheet. Actually, it's a double ingot. That's the iron sword blade. Okay, it's bend, and hit. It's what? Like 11 to the right. No, actually I was wrong. To the left, of course. Okay, how can I do this? Bend, hit. Okay. Then let's get a stick. And then we can assemble all the armor. That does look nice. Whoa, okay, it's actually really cool. Okay, so here's the plan. I've been exploring a lot in the south already. It's also where spawn is. If I go a bit northeast, then I don't need to cross any rivers to this point, and then there's a lot of unexplored terrain, so maybe let's head there and try it. Okay, I would actually love to bring a dog, but as far as I know, they don't teleport. We can try it out maybe. Follow me? No way you can keep up though, right? No, poor dog. Wait! No, it's just out of render distance. Entity render distance, that is, of course. Yeah, okay. So I guess if you actually want to go hunting with the wolves, you have to do it nearby somehow. Or we make a train or something like that later. We can actually transport the wolves for a hunting trip. Would be fun. Okay, let's tell them to relax. Yes. Okay, let's head out. Alright, so I'm already 1500 blocks out. I started chopping down some trees. And then I come across this in the forest. I had no idea there's actually even more versions of 2x2 trees. There's a 2x2 sycamore tree. Definitely you won't fell this majestic beast here. Because you can't get those back. They only generate, you can't grow them yourself. I'm gonna chop down the small ones instead. This is another one? No, it's just two no, it is? There's another 2x2. Oh my god. Okay, let's maybe get 2 more, so that should be enough. There's actually plenty of 2x2 trees here around. I think I've seen 4 or 5 at this point. Okay, so I got 1 full shulker box already of wood. Especially the chestnut log that I used for building the house. Got a bit more in there. So that should be enough for now. Okay, let's head further out and try to find new stone types. So there's only certain stone types where Kaolinite can generate. I think 6 or 7 of those. I think in general it might even be a little bit easier to find it compared to graphite. But we just didn't have the right stone types nearby yet. Looks like I actually hit the rock border again. So here we still have Desite, like in my base. Yeah, all the way up to this point actually. And here shale starts. Okay, this can have Kaolinite. Now I'm definitely gonna spam that prospector pick again. Looks like there's a predator somewhere. Yep, a wolf. Okay, let's actually see. Horse is scared. Still does a ton of damage. Still 270 or something like that. Okay, he's running, but... yeah, that armor doesn't do much. Should I? Grizzly bear. No. Oh, I actually got a large sample of cinnabar here. So usually this would have been great news. That's redstone ore. But since we already got so much just from grinding down sand, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna dig this up. But it's good to know. Here the area is really flat. You can't even see any forest or anything in the distance. That actually made me wonder if it wouldn't be a good idea to try out a Distant Horizons mod. I've used it in Vanilla 1.19 quite a bit. Is there maybe a 1.18 Forge version? Gonna look this up. I found a Distant Horizon version for 1.18.2. Right now in the forest with the rain and snow around, it's kind of hard to see the effects. I guess if you find some higher terrain, nice to see. I just wanted to show you the animal here. So they actually changed, I think, the size of the boar is a little bit larger now. There's a couple other animals that actually got introduced. A direwolf, a pheasant, grouse. Maybe we'll see some of those. I have to say, this does look pretty good. So I got the render distance set to 256 now. Distant Horizons. Let's maybe actually go to the other mountains there as well. They're even higher up. This is amazing. Well, not really the chunk borders there, but the terrain I explored here. If you had a 360 view of that, it would be amazing. But of course, I would need to explore everything. I feel like I should actually head home. I've been searching for so long and didn't find any Kaolinite. So in the area where I actually had the right stone type, the shale, here I was riding around for like an hour and spammed the prospector pick, didn't find anything. So right now I'm actually in an area that I've almost explored before. We got to this point. I'm thinking I should maybe just do a mad dash towards east. Maybe there's a different stone type, and if not, then just return back home. Oh look, they also added turkeys. Those are just wild animals though, so they don't have a familiarity bar. No point really bringing one home. I guess those are just for hunting. Get some meat. I think it was actually a good decision, so I went for about 2,000 more blocks and finally a useful stone type again. Conglomerate. I think all the stone types that start with C can have kaolinite. Let's see if we can find some here. The terrain around here is also quite interesting. I haven't seen a river in ages, which on one hand is quite convenient because I don't need to cross them all the time, but it's also probably an indicator that we're very far away from an ocean. So if you look at the map, for example, if you get close to the ocean, there's always some rivers around. But yeah, the position where I'm at hasn't been a river in ages. So I guess we could go a whole lot further east before we actually hit the ocean. And here is probably the biggest lake I've seen so far in the game. This goes beyond render distance even. So this is the whole extent of the lake. I can only see this actually at distant horizons. There's the big lake. There was a bit of exploration here. Kaolinite! Finally! Yes! Well, I only had to ride 8,000 meters to find some kaolinite. Well, I'm gonna dig a little hole for the horse so it doesn't run away. Would actually also be nice if you could set a home point like with the wolves, because that actually works pretty well. They don't just wander off. But yeah, I'm gonna dig out this kaolinite now. This one is like the final boss. I haven't found it yet. Digging for around 8 minutes now. And no matter where I look, always says small sample of kaolinite. I tried digging down a little bit, make holes, see if it's maybe just lower down, but just can't find it. After a lot more digging, I actually found the spot where it no longer says small sample of kaolinite. The other end as well, so I guess just gonna go in the middle of that and then dig to the side and I guess after that dig down. Where else would it be? Well, going down also doesn't seem to help. Here it says only traces of kaolinite. I guess that means it's higher up. I could imagine maybe that like the center point of the vein is like really close where the gravel turns to stone. And therefore the whole vein is very small and it would be very hard to find. Okay, maybe let's just save those coordinates and just dig down from on top and around a little bit from there. Yes, that was actually it. And it still says small sample of kaolinite. Okay, let's dig it all up. Might not be too much. Oh god. No! We actually find kaolinite and it's nothing. So close as well. Oh god. Should probably also put supports in here somehow. If any planks on me, let's just dig it. We extend those a bit higher. Then it also works. Okay. I've used up all my catbox supports. Those will do. How much is it gonna be? More than 10? Not entirely sure how much we actually need for like the smallest size blast furnace. Okay, a couple more. None are visible? Still finding traces. Okay, since I'm that desperate, I'm gonna keep digging around. Ah, 2 more, good. Let's check. Found nothing. That's literally it. That's the whole vein. So 16. Hopefully that's actually enough. Let's check real quick, because I'm not motivated anyway enough to keep searching. So in order to make a minimum size blast furnace, we need, as far as I know, 4 of those fire bricks. In order to get 2 of those, we would need all of this. Mortar is no issue. The fire bricks is the thing we need. And in order to make those, we need to fire an unfired fire brick. And that we can make out of 1 fire clay. With the napping, tells me it actually gets 3, but I'm not sure how many fire clay items you actually need for this. So let's say 1 for 1. Then in order to make the fire clay, we need 4 kaolinite powder. And if you grind this down, we get those. So 10 kaolinite, as far as I can tell, would be enough. Alright, then let's just head home, make our blast furnace, so we can at least make like a flint and steel and other things, but it's gonna be so annoying having such a limited amount of steel available with the minimum size blast furnace. We should probably, since this is auto terra firmacraft, the next time we come to a biome that has graphite, maybe make a tunnel bore, or we make just a big machine, digs down from on top. Maybe that's actually a bit more fun, but it's definitely quicker to go exploring, just to get a little bit, I feel like. And 20 seconds later, I fall in a hole with my horse. Nothing here, but we have to get out of this. I wonder, I've never tried it. Can you actually jump scaffolding with a horse? That would be actually super useful. The way I would imagine this goes, this does work, right? We don't collide with stuff on top. Let's see if we can get out of this. Yes! Oh, scaffolding OP for this. Oh, we need to get higher even. This is such a big ravine. Okay, we make it from here? Yes, with the Wonder Horse. Can do it. More interesting world generation. Here we got some sort of a mountain mesa hybrid biome. Never seen it. I've probably seen like a dozen mesas by now. They're all pretty similar, they look like this. But I've never seen a mountain. But it's a great view from up there. I definitely don't regret getting distant horizons. This, by the way, not Big Lake. Big Lake is behind those hills. I was actually always wondering about this. Can the hot spring water also heal the horse? Yes, it can. Oh, that's pretty neat. I wonder if it can actually harm the undead mobs, though. So since it heals you, it should actually harm those. Once we get a bucket, I'm definitely gonna try to get some of that stuff. And finally, back home, I just dropped off all the stuff I got from this journey again in chests. So I got a little bit of conglomerate cobble. I don't think I'm gonna use this as a building block. If I look at the palette here, it's not that nice. Maybe here the chiseled one looks kind of neat. But yeah, don't see myself building with this. I think I'm just gonna throw it in the washer and then we can get bismuth from it. And magnetite and limonite, so a bit more iron, which is good. Okay, then, yeah, 16 kaolinite important. Here, I collect a lot of seeds again. I have this goal, or idea, at some point to build a brewery or a distillery where we grow crops and turn them all into alcohol. Not that it would be super useful, I just like the idea of having some brewery building and fully automatic alcohol production. We can put it all in a huge crate with fluid tank maybe. Have several buckets of that stuff. I think it would be just for fun. That's why I collected sugar cane. So we can turn it into sugar and that can be turned into rum. Then what else do we have? For corn whiskey, maize seeds. I think wheat also for whiskey. Rice seeds, that should be for sake, so stuff like that. We can make all kinds of alcohol. Alright, then I was also hunting quite a lot. So I got a ton of hides. What I actually want to do with those already, those toolboxes are basically like shulker boxes. I have a couple chests that are really filled up with the same type of block. And I was thinking, why not just put it into toolboxes if we have a lot of that stuff. For example, I'm holding off making more mortar because then my chest would overflow. In that case, I can just put toolboxes worth that stuff in there. So definitely gonna start turning this into leather. Can maybe start with the next episode. So I'm just gonna throw this stuff into the washer, see what we get from that, and then end it here. So next episode we can do the blast furnace and all of that. Alright. Of course, I still need to set up those filters here. So we got 11 iron and 3 bismuth out of that. I guess really digging stone and converting it is only worth it if you use some drills. Okay, so that's all for today. Next episode, definitely blast furnace first thing. And then there's a couple other things I want to look into. Alright, hope you guys had fun watching. Thanks so much and see you next time. Bye bye.